Is this working? I don't even know. I think it is. Whew. Hello. Hello. Hi, everyone. The beard is real. Was there any question? I've never been this early. This is the earliest I've ever been, if this counts. Hi. Hi. Yeah, you can chat. Anyone can chat. We're just going to casually talk about Bleach because how's everyone doing? The little one's good. Oh, thank you. This is completely new for me. It's all coming at me pretty quick. Yo. I know. I need a better camera. I know. It's on the list. You're welcome to lurk here while making dinner. Thank you. I appreciate that. How far am I in Can't For Your Own World? I just finished volume 2 with the patrons yesterday, and I have a lot of I have a script for a video about the first volume that I have not finished editing. That'll be here on the channel at some point. And then I got to take more notes on volume 2. Volume 2 is weird because there was a lot, but also kind of not, because it was so much of it was centered on a battle. How does it feel now being a dad? Very, very different. Completely different experience of life. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I am also curious about how all of this will play out. Yeah, like I mean, it's been an interesting few days, hasn't it? Since that episode. I feel like I've been, trying to piece it together. I do think it's going to be, whether it's a fake out, whether it's reversed. Um, I don't think it's permanent, obviously. For those of you that haven't read the manga, I'm not going to give specifics, but there are things that happened that couldn't have happened. You know what I mean? Volume 3 moves quickly. Okay. Volume 2, it felt like I was kind of running in place with Can't For Your Own World because the battles were cool. There was some fun matchups, some cool groupings, but it was so long and it didn't help I was reading it out loud. It just took time, but yeah, it felt like I was week after week I was kind of still in that battle. Someone from the manga is or did you say someone not from the manga is supposed to appear in the anime? Yes, patience is everything. Um, so is you're also a new parent? The odds of seeing Aizen's Bankai are probably increasing. That would be really cool. I'd love to see it. Yeah, I think Yubaha will reverse it or that all of it. I'd rather he reverse it than it be completely like a vision. I think that would give more credence to everything that happened, I think. Next episode can't come soon enough. I agree. And I'm sorry if I'm missing people. I mean, I'm doing my best. Mr. Tomo brought up something I hadn't noticed about Core 4 that might explain what's going to happen in the next episode. Since Uryu took Yugram's powers, the Almighty would probably. Now let's talk Bleach. I was odd when I saw it, me too. Can we agree anime Orihime can slam any captain? Anime Orihime can reject everyone. She's I've been wanting this since the Iran arc, guys. Oh, thank you so much. Love your Tokyo Ghoul. Hold on. How do I thank you so much. You don't have to do super chats or whatever, but I appreciate it. It's definitely not required, but I really appreciate that. Um, love your Tokyo Ghoul Patreon. Any idea about a YouTube release? I know I have got at least half dozen scripts for my Tokyo Ghoul stuff. I just need to record and edit. But Bleach has been so interesting lately, and so much going on. I just haven't had the time, unfortunately. But it will be soon. I'm hoping If not September, then definitely I want to in October, if only for the spooky vibes of October for Tokyo Ghoul, I think would make sense, you know? Memes are killing me about Orihime. I don't think it's going to be Yuho backtracks it. I think it'll be Ichigo. It being all a vision doesn't make sense since he doesn't have Almighty Till. That's what people are saying. I didn't really notice that, but I guess when Uryu hit Ugram, it went back to Yuabaha. Makes sense, I guess. Who? I believe he'll rewind his death. Possibly. Do I think Ikaku also has a fake Bankai like Renji's OG Bankai? Would be a way to fix his Bankai and bring it back stronger than ever. Maybe. I mean, I could see that. I would like to see more of his Bankai in general, however we have to do it. It's been fun in the on Patreon. I've been watching the Zanpakuto Rebellion arc, and seeing some of those Bankais again has been really cool. And just the fights with the spirits has been fun. I wonder if Orihime can keep her loved ones alive indefinitely by rejecting physical age. I mean, she's kind of like a god, so it's possible. It's very possible. Uncle Shu next episode. I don't know about next episode, but maybe it'll end with him. Maybe. I'm hoping with the way he's in the credits, we expand on that a little bit. But we'll see, because he's only in a couple pages of the manga. For the Camp for Your Own World video on Patreon today, and how you wanted to see the scene of Shinji's Bankai. The animated Bleach Brave Souls actually has units of Camp for Your Own World that actually visualize light novel scenes. That's cool. Shinji's Bankai I now read in its original first appearance, so that was fun. Yeah, we saw Yuabaha get the Almighty back. I didn't notice that in my first watch. I was too busy tearing up and horrified and shocked by everything I was seeing. Yeah, or you unintentionally might have saved Yuabaha. It's very possible. I could see that. That would be kind of tragic, but maybe it'll work out in the end in a way that was on the page. Okay, yeah, we do literally see Yuabaha get his eyes back. I didn't notice at the time. I was distracted by my tears. I miss our cousin. It's been a while. Me too. I agree. It was clever. I hope they do more with our dead Fullbrings. I agree. I want to see more Fullbringers than we got in the manga, but we're running out of time. But I mean, we had time this whole episode for a very big divergence, so it's possible. It's possible. I need a haircut so badly, guys. I'm very curious if Yuabaha does undo his erasure. Will Orihime keep her power up or go back to how she was? I think it would be really cool if she gets an upgraded kit and stays in the fight. I mean, it would be interesting, but I do feel like I would imagine this would have taken a lot out of her, I would think. Where do you think the next episode is going to end in manga chapters? This episode is named after a manga chapter, unlike last episode. So we are probably back to the manga. I mean, I would think we'd be back to it. Ishin will release his Bankai and kill Gerard. I'd love to see Ishin do a little more in the anime, but we'll see. Do you think they'll give Chad something? With Renji last episode, we know Renji. Yeah, we do know that. I mean, I don't know what Chad. We might have been setting that up to give him a little bit more, but I feel like Chad versus the Golems conceptually is just the least interesting thing going on, so I don't really need to spend more time on that. I'd prefer if he had more of a role in other ways, but if he's just going to be fighting the Golems, then I don't. We could spend that in other ways, I think. My main thought about this episode is that it was honestly better than all the ideas in the manga's final battle. Thus, I think it feels kind of bad to go back to the manga canon. So you'd prefer just offshoot into a whole anime-only timeline then? Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, but it was really good, obviously. But I mean, I think it makes sense with how it most likely will get back to the manga. Orihime is top 3 in the verse now. She has always been top 3 in the verse, in my eyes. This was a rare episode that physically made me shake. I love when that happens. It was so shocking, made me emotional. It felt like Game of Thrones or something. Like, it was just I was shocked by what I was seeing, and yes, physically reacting to it because I was couldn't comprehend it. Do you think Chad will appear again? Renji reappears and he's with Chad, so I think Chad will come back as well. Maybe. Hey, maybe he'll contribute more to the very end. We'll see. How do I think Hoshvault is going to get out of this? I don't. I hope it's a little different than his ending in the manga, just slightly. But they've already improved that so much that I wouldn't even mind at this point. As long as they keep the emotional beats of his ending, I'll be happy because they've already given us such an expanded fight. Ausvalen makes more sense now after what Orihime did. That's a great point. That I'm trying to remember why he did it in the manga. It was just that that Ichigo was putting up a fight, right? Was there any big specific damage he did to him? Was it a Getsuga Tensha? I can't remember. But this would be like, yeah, put him in panic mode, I would imagine. Binged all your Bleach videos in a couple months or a couple months ago. Glad to catch a live stream. This is the first ever live stream, so good timing. I was always scared to do live streams because, frankly, while I was reading the manga, I was terrified people might come on and, give spoilers. And there's still a chance people could spoil Can't For Your Own World right now. Please don't. But I'm less nervous about it now because I'm, much farther into everything. What's your own opinion on what happens to Ichigo when his human body finally dies of old age? It's an excellent question. I would hope he'd have a spot reserved for him as a Soul Reaper, I would hope. Yeah, he just said he no longer needed his children. Okay, so yeah, Yuabaha was just like, okay, whatever, I need a power up. He was scared of his Bankai route, which now there's more reason to be too. So I think this really does improve that whole plot point of the Ausvalen coming back around. Yeah, okay, so yeah, then I think this makes that better if that was all it was. I hope Orihime's actions put us into a Soul King flashback before Kubo magically brings us back to. I would love more Soul King information, so I'm all for that. I'm all for that. I saw someone recently saying that they wanted Ichibei to take over as the main villain in these final episodes, and I'm like, that would be crazy. I feel like that's too far, way too different, but it could have happened. I just don't think they're gonna change things that much. Yeah, makes Gerard's demise a little less cheap. The moon symbolism with Zangetsu was great. I did love that. Do I think the Gerard fight will be expanded? Not really, I don't think. I would like it to be, but I don't think so. I don't think so. I would love to see Ishin or Ginjo or somebody fight Gerard a little bit, but I don't think that's going to happen. Soul King flashback has to be coming, could happen at any moment. I would love that. This episode just shows you don't want to make Orihime angry because that's probably the most mad she's been in the whole series. Yep. I have not read Club Outside Q&A stuff as of yet. I am going to be checking it out soon, though. I'm not sure how I'm going to go about it. I know there's a lot of them. Should I just go chronologically with how they released, or should I have some of my friends on the Discord curate that for me? I don't know. Oh, you're saying because Gerard's the heart of the Soul King, that probably reflects the type of person the Soul King was? Possibly. Possibly. I want to see Ishin and Ryuken do something beyond being delivery boys. I agree. I do want them to have more than they have had so far. I agree. I don't know what that would be. I would love Ishin to have a shot at Yuabaha considering everything, but and Ryuken to have. I mean, they do play a role in that, but more of a direct role could be kind of cool. But at the same time, Ishin did already kind of show that he doesn't really. I mean, he didn't hold it against the Grand Fisher, and he knows about Yuabaha, so I would imagine he didn't hold it against the Grand Fisher because of Yuabaha's role. Yeah, Discord. Go. The patrons have a Discord. If you join the Patreon, you'll have access to our Discord. It's pretty fun. Some great guys there are the admins and mods, and they created it and then told me about it, which was crazy to me. But they do a great job, and I don't get on there nearly as much as I should, unfortunately. But I am on there sometimes to chat with people. But there's several hundred questions on Club Outside, so breaking them up or having someone curate them could be wise. Okay, so maybe that's how I'll do it. Maybe I'll read them on live streams. I don't know. Or I'll do a whole video, an actual edited one. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'm definitely going to, I want to learn a lot of the information in them for sure. Because it's just Kubo. It's like a SBS from One Piece, right? It's like Kubo answering questions, giving like information that's not in the text. An Ishin Bankai reveal would be really cool. A little more lead up to the arrow. I'm with you. I'm with you. That was one of my only kind of like iffy things on the manga's ending. I was kind of like, that could have used a little more build up, just a little bit. Just, I liked the way it was kind of created, but I needed more. Have I contacted Tekking or Mr. Tomo for a collab? No, I don't. I've avoided Bleach YouTubers for years now because I don't want my algorithm to have any Bleach. So I know Tekking because of his old One Piece videos I used to watch. And when I say I know him, I mean we don't know each other. I used to watch his videos. He'd do like hour-long profiles on like the Shishibukai. And I was all about that. I'm like, yes, I'll sit back and let this man casually tell me about Doflamingo. It was great. It was great. But I don't know him. We have never communicated. I would be open to any sort of collaboration with either of them, if you want to let them know. But I haven't reached out to them because I don't really know Mr. Tomo because I've avoided videos about Bleach. I might watch some now that I'm mostly caught up, but for the moment, I have not watched anything from any Bleach videos. It's just while I was doing my series, I just refused to risk my algorithm. You need to finish reading before you talk to those other Bleach tubers. Your perspective is amazing, but they are learned. They are learned people. I'm just a novice. But yeah, I should probably finish at least Camp for Your Own World and the other light novels before that, I guess. Honestly, Aizen's Bankai happening is very unlikely because he has all the power he needs from the Hogikyu. I mean, fair enough, but it would still be cool to see. Am I fully caught up with One Piece? I am a little behind. I'm probably like 3 or 4 chapters behind. I haven't watched any of the Elbaf arc anime because my friend and I, who I introduced to One Piece, he caught up, and then we've been watching the anime together when that releases. So we finished Egghead together, and I am not watching anymore without my good buddy Andrew, who loves One Piece. He has since shown it to other people. I've spread the gospel of Ichiro Oda. I'm not fully caught up, but I am pretty far into the One Piece manga, pretty recent. I was going to make a comparison. Ooh. One moment, guys. Sorry, I'm trying my best here. Gerard being the heart is important because of, yes, the heart is a big term in Bleach. I almost said One Piece. But yeah, I mean, yeah, between Kaien's thing and Ukiura, yeah, there's a lot. So Gerard is important, and we've gotten a little more information about him. They mentioned him in Camp for Your Own World at one point about the heart. Maybe after you finish consuming every material possible so that you won't risk being spoiled. Okay, so maybe after I finish watching the filler arcs as well. I almost watched the Beach episode of Bleach because people were telling me to, and it's summertime. I still might. I was gonna do that for the Patreon to do a watch along of that, and then maybe a little video here. I still might. It's not quite the end of summer, right? I could still do that. Maybe. But everyone's saying I should, and that's funny. And I'm like, okay, I'll watch the beach episode, the obligatory beach episode. So at some point soon, I'm gonna try to do that. Maybe next week. Maybe. That's been so busy lately, but I'll try. I was gonna try to make a comparison between characters in One Piece and Bleach, but how far are you in One Piece? I'm a few chapters behind. I'm in Elbaf. I don't think I would like if Aizen's Bankai is revealed. What? Why not? Keep him mysterious. Keep us guessing. I could see that, but I want to see it. My favorite Bleach YouTuber is having a first live stream. Yes, I am, and I hope it's going okay. I feel very uncomfortable, but I'm doing my best. And you guys are great. I sometimes I feel like I need an edit to not just blabber on. Doesn't your algorithm become Bleach related just based on the fact that you're a Bleach channel? No, I haven't had that experience. It's mostly X-Men, American comic books, a lot of movie channels. I literally have not watched Bleach content besides, like, not even my own. Once I upload it to YouTube, I don't look at it. And for a while, I wasn't looking at it because I didn't want to see comments. Because I was like, for a while, I would respond to comments, and then there were a couple that were kind of like verging on spoilers. So my friends were like, just don't. So for, I think it was starting like the late Arankar arc, maybe Fullbring arc, I just stopped looking at comments, and it's been nice to see people's responses now. But why do you think Yuabaha took Nianzol up to the or the Wind? I think he took Wyzol up there to be a shield, and he was great at that. He was great, wasn't he? In his couple minutes, he did a good job until he was gone. What an interesting character he was. I think I rated him kind of low on the Sternritter list, but he was barely in it. He was fun, but it was tough to give him a good rating. Greetings from Croatia. Greetings. Yes, finish those books first, and not that you're not learned. They're just finished. Some of your first takes have baffled me, but obviously I'm here for a reason. Well, thank you. I knew you weren't insulting me. It was funny. Because it's true. Some of these people, some of you guys have like decades of Bleach knowledge. And I have about, how many years has it been since I started? 4? Has it been 4? I think it's been 4. But there were some breaks in between there too. Like there was like a year break at one point where life was impossible. What do I think Robert's Schrift name was? I know. What was he again? The ones we didn't learn were K and N, right? And K was our boy, the robot, BG9. So Robert's was N. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. Robert, he was fast, he was precise, he was all business. We love Bobby. Bobby and his briefcase. No nonsense. N for the no nonsense. It was all business. How's my progress in Can for Your Own World? I just finished volume 2 yesterday on Patreon in my weekly readings. So if you want to see my weekly readings of Can for Your Own World, they're on Patreon. And soon there will be at least the first analysis video, which will cover the first volume of Can for Your Own World. Will be coming in the near future. I need to edit that, but I have a script for it. So. Club Outside does include a lot of what brands of coffee and cigarettes does Ryuken like, and what's Shinji's favorite band. I do want to learn that, along with more relevant things. Yeah, I do want to learn that. That sounds really fun. So I will definitely be checking out Club Outside in the near future. By the way, how do you like Hunter x Hunter so far? I do love it. I've had to take a little break because of just how much Bleach content is coming out and how much I've kind of needed to focus on that for the time being. But so far, where am I at? I'm at the Phantom Troop and the auction, and it's been crazy. I just met what's his name? Crollo? Crollo? The leader? That whole group, Vacuum Girl, the guy that reminds me of Sabretooth from X-Men. They're a great group of villains, and I have a lot of analysis scripts for that as well. But the reading's been good. It's been a really good series. And I mean, I knew it would be. I love Yu Yu Hakusho, so Hunter x Hunter's been really fun. Oh boy. Guys, I can't keep up with you. I can't keep up with you. A Zanpakuto ranking? Yeah, at some point, for sure. Robert the Near, that's how he got close to Kiraku. That's BG9 the knowledge. Yes, that feels right to me. The knowledge or the knowing, something to do with analyzing for BG9. I agree. The knowledge makes sense. The Near is interesting. Like yeah, because he's precise. He can get up close. But I like no nonsense. We're going to go with that. It's a double N. When am I going to watch the Karaku Riser episodes? I don't know what those are. So people will tell me, I'm sure. My friend Henry, if I haven't watched them yet, he'll probably have me watch them after. Is it like, because I know there's episodes that aren't filler arcs, but are like, so maybe after the filler arcs, he'll have me watch those. Club Outside is how we learned Xyloporo's hollow hole is his urethra. Makes sense. Must do a reaction for episode 51, though. Is that the final episode? I do reactions for every episode on Patreon. York New City is going to be epic. Watch the old anime before watching the new one. Trust. I have thought about which anime I would want to watch of Hunter x Hunter. Any thoughts on mods for lives? I would love some mods at some point. I don't know, just for safety, but I'll probably choose from my Discord, I would imagine. And my some of those guys probably know how to do this. I'm surprised I could even set this up, honestly. I'm so technologically not savvy sometimes. I was like, I hope this works. What's up, cousin? Not much, cousin. Not much. They're filler episodes. Okay, so yeah, I'll probably watch those after I finish the bigger filler arcs. What would your thoughts on covering more recent, still running manga on the channel at some point? I'd be very curious to hear your thoughts about Kagurabachi. I'm not opposed. I've got a few series running, and I'm doing my best to try to keep up with because I've got the Bleach content, which I've got now new episodes, filler episodes, read along of Can't For Your Own World, soon Club Outside stuff. So I've got still a lot of Bleach stuff, but I've also got Hunter x Hunter read along. What's the other? Tokyo Ghoul read along. I've had like such an unfortunate break from watching Demon Slayer because something had to give. So apologies if you've been looking for it. I will get back to it at some point on Patreon. Yeah. You can set chat to slow mode. Maybe I should. It feels like I'm giving up if I do that, though, right? Episode 51 of Hunter x Hunter. Okay. The older anime is really good at setting a dark tone and atmosphere. I do like I'll get into it's my whole first analysis video about Hunter x Hunter is kind of how much I love the tone of the world and the adventure of it all. So that's a little sneak preview. But yeah, it gets a little dark sometimes, doesn't it? like some of the moments with I'm blanking on names. Killua. And if I'm mispronouncing any Hunter x Hunter names, whenever I talk about Hunter x Hunter, I apologize because I haven't watched any anime of it. So I don't know how it's supposed to be said. So I say Leorio, I say Gon, I say Kurapika, at Kahlua. That's how I pronounce them. I could be way off. And I say Hisoka, and I said Hisoka at first, but people said I was wrong. So Yeah, I know there's certain vibes of older anime that I prefer. There's like a grittiness to them. I when people bring up, they got to remake Yu Yu Hakusho. I'm like, the vibe though. They can't replicate that '90s vibe. They can't, and it was so perfect for that. I just don't want them to touch it. The music, the sound effects, everything. I'm like, yeah, you can make it look prettier, you can make it look more fluid, but it's perfect for what it is. And I kind of feel that way about early Bleach. And I know people want to remake, and I can see why there are some things that aren't translated super well from the manga, but the vibes of early Bleach are kind of immaculate. I feel nostalgic for them, and I watched those like 4 years ago. I don't know. It brings me back to like the 2000s when I first got a glimpse of Bleach when my friend slept over and it was on like Adult Swim at like 2 a.m. I wish I remembered what was happening. People were flying, like Soul Reapers were standing in the air. That's all I remember. I think it was Karakura Town, but I don't know for sure. It was so long ago. It was like 2009 or something. You still listen to Yu Yu Hakusho's soundtrack? Yes, it's so good. I often do when I'm writing. I love listening to scores and stuff for background. So apparently, I would like Kagurabachi. Is it like supernatural? Is it like that kind of vibe? I usually tend to go with like kind of that kind of vibe, but I'm not only strictly that. But they are remaking One Piece, and I get it. It's very dated. Those early episodes, it would help bring new people in. My problem is because of I've rewatched One Piece with so many people and I introduce it to them. So I've seen a lot of those early episodes a lot. The live action is, now it's further, but that was the East Blue. I'm like East Blued out, kind of. I'm not excited to see that again, you know? And it's going to be prettier. It's going to look great, but I'm just not personally super excited, It's going to be good. I'm not personally like hyped for it. What are your theories about this upcoming episode? I think we're gonna reverse what happened. I think either it never happened and it was a vision, but I think, like people have said, it's more likely he's going to reverse it, which I think would do better at not discrediting everything that happened. JoJo would also be good. My brother-in-law spent like 15 minutes at our St. Patrick's Day party we hosted here like months ago, telling me about JoJo, and it sounds bizarre for sure. He said a lot of things where I'm like, okay, sounds crazy. So maybe at some point, I don't know. It sounds real weird, but he would be very happy if I watched JoJo. We can finally adapt the first chapter of One Piece as the beginning of the story. Yes, true. I have always missed him stabbing himself in the face and giving him the scar, which I'm sure was a censoring issue, but I've always missed that moment because I feel like it's important for how much he wants to get on that ship and go with Shanks. Yeah, true. It could be some people might be mad that the Almighty could just reverse it, but it could, it could. Well, I also watched the Shinigami Cup Golden shorts that appeared at the end of each episode someday. Yeah. Uh, do it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I can't read fast enough. If you like supernatural things, I'd recommend the Twilight Blade and which Riv mangas. What do I think about One Piece live action? I like a lot of things in it. I respect how bold it is with going for it for the style. We got transponder snails, like they go for it. I respect it. There are parts that I don't think work. Um, I didn't love Arlong. Um, season 2 I preferred overall. I still have a lot of problems with it I can get into someday more, but overall I appreciate it for what it is. I understand it's not gonna be exact, but my favorite Bleach soundtracks, some of the like sad music, you know, some of those there's particular ones that get me, that hit me hard. I was too gonna suggest Gray Man for Agamotto's D Gray Man for Agamotto as well. What music do I use in videos? I like this. Oh, I use what's the site called? It's like a copyright free pick picks pick, I forget. I have like a whole chunk that I just use because they're beautiful. As a Yu Yu Hakusho fan, do you prefer the manga's ending or the anime ending? I prefer neither. I'm not huge on the Three Kings. I love it until the tournament. Anytime I rewatch it, I get all hyped up again by all the politics and all of the conspiracies and the armies being built up. And then it's like, we're going to have another tournament and it's going to be the dark tournament, but worse. I'm like, don't try to do the tournament when you have the greatest tournament of all time already in this series. And I get it wasn't how he wanted it to end. But yeah, I'm not big on either ending, but probably the anime overall, I would say, I guess. Do I have any wild theories on what could be added considering we only have one episode worth of manga left? I would like more full bring action. I would like Ishin to do something. I personally would like to see Aizen's Bankai. Um, what else could be fun that could be added? I want Neliel to do something. And there's something she could be doing right now that we learn about in Can for Your Own World that I would love to see, but I don't think it's going to happen. Thoughts on doing an Ichigo form ranking? Yeah, maybe at some point. The Chunin exams better than the Dark Tournament? I think not, my friend. I love the Chunin exams. It's classic to me. It feels like I'm back as a kid again. Um, obviously, Rock Lee versus Gara is incredible. It's classic, but better than the Dark Tournament from Yu Yu Hakusho? I think not. I think not. Have I ever seen Yu Yu Hakusho? Hell yes, I have. Your Meshi. I love it. I've been watching Yu Yu Hakusho since I was a kid. I loved Dragon Ball Z and I loved Yu Yu Hakusho, but unlike all my friends, I preferred Yu Yu Hakusho. Yeah, exactly. Harabelle's still chilling out somewhere. Neliel could be helping her, but we might not see that. Chunin exams is great, guys. I'm not saying it's not great. But the Dark Tournament is every moment of it. The team dynamics, the other teams, the transformations, the personal growth for everyone, the Taguro brothers. I'm sorry, Orochimaru and Gaara don't hold a candle to the Taguro brothers. You have an absolute psycho who's terrifying and he's tiny and he sits on your shoulder. And then you have the much more intimidating Arnold Schwarzenegger man who just wants something so understandable behind those sunglasses. It's so good. It's so good. I've heard rumors that the final Thousand Year Blood War episode is going to be extended. I heard that rumor too, and I hope it's true. If it's like a hour-long episode, that would be amazing. Who felt more unstoppable, Aizen or Yubaha? That's a great question. I think they both felt unkillable, that's for sure. I think I felt it more with Yubaha by the end because it felt like literally like there's nothing. There's nothing we can do. I think because of his future sight too, he just felt more like he knows what's going to happen. Aizen was like, he kind of did too because he's that smart. But I think, I think, I think I'll say Yuabaha felt more unstoppable. Yeah, I hope they give Harabelle more screen time too. And you guys know how I feel. I'm a King Barragan loyalist. And even I want more horror bell. 'Cause you know? They did 27 minutes this episode. So, yeah, what it did yeah, they did. Yep. Hey, we don't need to insult Naruto. I like Naruto. But yeah, much prefer Yu Yu Hakusho, but I liked Naruto the whole time. I grew up with it. A lot of great stuff, but it didn't affect me the same way One Piece did. I was more of a One Piece guy than a Naruto guy, but did I read Berserk? Yes. I love Berserk. I always have. No, well, always. The past like 10 years of my life, I have. And one of the best nights of my life was I convinced my poor friend Andrew. I said, "Hey, you like Game of Thrones. There's this great anime trilogy of movies you should watch," because I knew he wouldn't watch the 90s anime. I said, "Hey, this is like Game of Thrones." He's like, "Oh, really?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's like medieval. It's dark and gritty and it's bloody. There's politics." He's like, "Yeah, great." And the whole night I was waiting for him to get to that third movie with the eclipse. So worth it. He still gets pissed at me. I'm like, "I'm sorry, man. You had to understand Berserk. You had to go through that." And he did. He did. Why does he look like Yuabaha if he was in real life? I don't think I do. Do I? I don't think so. I don't have a mustache. This entire arc, I was hoping they would show Harabel being rescued. That's what I mean. I want to see that too. Yeah, he did really go after Orihime. That was pretty rough. Vagabond. Okay, okay. Yes, we Berserk fans love reveling in pain of other people. Yes, we do. Naruto, Bleach, then One Piece. Love ninjas, and yeah, makes sense. Have you seen the other forms from Bleach Brave Souls characters? I'd say it would be very interesting. I saw the Ichigo forms I did a reaction to. I saw the Espada forms, and I saw the Beyond Bankai forms. If there are more than that, I have not seen those from Bleach Brave Souls. But I do have videos on each of those. Beyond Resurrection, Beyond Bankai, and all the weird ones for Ichigo I did like a couple months ago. Hopefully the bounce come next episode and save the day. My boy Koga is going to show up with Doll, and they're going to stop Yuabaha for sure. For sure. Maybe I look like, oh, young. Okay, yeah, he did have like a beard stubble. We got a live one for the eclipse. That's how it felt. Oh my god, he thought that it was like a dream sequence at first, and I was like, no. He's like, is this actually happening? I'm like, this is actually happening. He had no idea it was so good. Which villain do I like more overall, Toguro or Aizen? Oh man, those are like top tier guys to me. Toguro has the advantage, and we're talking younger Toguro. He has the advantage of I've loved him for like 20 years, Like there's that advantage for me. But Aizen's so good. And they're very different, obviously. But both have their own things, their own perspectives that you wouldn't expect. Amagai, where are you? We need you. We do need Captain Amagai. The Hell Arc, maybe. We'll get Amagai back, maybe. Yeah, Taguro's iconic, exactly. I didn't want to recommend this to you, but since you've seen through Berserk, then I can confidently check out Jagan. Yeah, Gantz is a close second. Masterful manga, beautiful artwork, grotesque. Nostalgia versus recency bias, exactly. It's a tough conundrum because I'm like, Aizen's been so great these past couple of years, but Takuro's been there my whole life. He scared me so bad as a kid just from sheer like power, intimidation. Our uncle is coming next episode. I hope so. I hope so. Seeing Bird Liege Barrow in the opening, maybe we finally see Kira's Bankai. Kubo said it's the most nauseating, disturbing one. I would like to see that. It's kind of like the Golem thing for me, though. I just feel like, do we have time to show that, Because it was such a random, I would like it, but will it take away from other potential things? I don't know. But it was kind of a random, Dead Man Kira. It was so cool, but I said it in my video. It was also kind of like, why now? Why are we doing this now? Tagoro had a good intro, but that goodbye episode with him and Genkai. That scene. So good. So good. Oh, just him standing there. Goodbye, Genkai. Oh, that that's really when I became who I am, watching Yu Yu Hakusho. That's why I love the things I love. Speaking of Brave Souls, I think you may have forgotten the inspiration for. Whoa! I'm losing things, guys. I'm sorry. I still dream of a mention of Senna since they did casually talk about the Valley of Scream. Senna! But the problem is we can't remember her, you know? Boom. You may have forgotten the inspiration for Byakuya's Beyond Bankai in the ranking since it was based on the move he did fighting Ichigo at the end of the. Yeah, people said that. I did see that afterward. That Byakuya's form is based off that move he did. I read Byakuya versus Ichigo like 2023. I think it's been a while. Been a while. So I had completely forgotten, and he never used it again. So he didn't help me out with a reminder. Sensui had a great intro, but kind of a meh exit. But I still prefer Chapter Black over Dark Tournament. That is a conundrum I run into. I love Chapter Black. I love it. I think it's fascinating. But I agree. Sensui's ending, I always kind of, I don't want to say it fizzles out, but I don't enjoy the end of Chapter Black nearly as much as I enjoy the majority of it. Once we get into the demon world, in Yusuke, some things happen. I'm kind of, yeah, it's fine. But Sensui's a great character. How does Sensui and Ginjo compare as both being villains? They are. I did make that comparison between those for sure. Ginjo, now that I know more about his backstory after reading Can for Your Own World, which I'll get into in that analysis video, he's up there. I think I still prefer Sensui overall because I prefer Sensui's multiple, kind of dissociative identity disorder angle a little more. Oh, thank you for the super chat. I really appreciate it. It's not necessary, but I appreciate that for sure. And you say Aizen Bankai will break the internet confirmed. If he uses it and if it's crazy, I could see that because I've been wanting to see that. And I'm sure you guys have definitely been wanting to see that. 2 ads. Oh my God. I'm sorry. I didn't, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe the, Liege Mingos will get us Valen too, since we never saw them. Yeah, maybe I could see that. I want Big Three Avengers. Big Three Avengers. What are we talking about? Are we talking about the Avengers? Or are we talking about? I love how most of the new Inway fan arts around are berserk level of horror inducing. Yeah. I noticed that you referenced Supernatural quite a few times in your videos. What's your opinion on that show? Do you like it post season 5? Listen, okay. I grew up, watching Supernatural. I started when it was airing season 2, and I watched all the rest of it every year. The show takes a huge dive, not huge, a significant dive after season 5. You can feel the show kind of, it told its story, and the rest is kind of good and bad, depending. It's a big roller coaster, but you can tell they just keep finding ways to keep dragging it out and dragging it out, dragging it out, dragging it out. And it doesn't feel natural. The first 5 seasons feel like a pretty natural progression towards something. Then it gets kind of wonky. But there are some great episodes, cool storylines, great moments, fun episodes, but yeah, never is the same quality again. So I tell people when I recommend Supernatural, watch the first 5 seasons. If you want to continue, go for it. You'll probably have fun. But if you want to stop after 5, that's probably the most complete experience. I'm also not huge on the very end of that show. That whole last season, I'm kind of like, last few seasons, I'm like, but it's a fun time. There are so many worse shows than that. It mostly, I wouldn't want to say it keeps up its quality, but it's okay later on. Do I think we're gonna see Ishin and Ryukin do anything cool? Maybe a Bankai. I hope so. Ishin especially needs a moment. Come on. After everything but the rain, give him a moment. Give him a moment. That's all I want. Just a moment. A cool moment. And a powerful emotional moment. I mean, that whole sequence was obviously, but in the final battle. So an inanimate object like Ichigo's badge can remember his entire story, but Gel can't remember Senna. Listen, it's tough. What happened with Senna was rough. Made me very sad. Do I plan on reading anything other than Bleach light novels? Uh, Meaning, oh, any of the other Bleach light? Yeah, I know one of them. I don't think I'm able to though. Isn't it not translated? Like, isn't it not in the West? I heard, but I would like to. Have you read Absolute Batman? I have not. I've been meaning to. I've seen a lot of the designs of Absolute Batman. I've read Absolute Martian Manhunter, which I adored. It's very trippy, but I like what they're doing there. Which is it's. Oh, I could get into it, but me and DC have a complicated history sometimes. I wrote them off for a very long time when New 52 happened because I was pissed. Um, but yeah, Absolute. That's kind of. I'll check those out. I'll dabble with those. But a lot of decisions they made when I was a weekly purchaser would go to my local comic book shop, which has since closed. And I was a big DC guy in my teen years. Big DC guy. I loved Marvel stuff. Like I loved the X-Men. Like X-Men has always been my big thing, but I was a big DC guy for a while. Green Lantern when it was at its height. Oh, it was great. It was great. And then New 52 was like everything you know doesn't matter anymore except Batman, but even that history doesn't make any sense anymore. And Green Lantern because that's popular, but even that history now doesn't. Blackest Night makes no sense anymore because half those dead people never existed. It was terrible. New 52 was a mess. And I know some people love it. It brought in new readers. Me and DC, we had issues for a while. There's no official English translation. Can't For Your Own World is the only novel translated officially, but there's fan translations of the rest. Okay. Absolute Batman rules. Definitely starts a little simple, seemingly, but man, once Bane comes in, yeah, I'm definitely going to check it out. What do I think of the theory that Kenpachi is a type of resident from Hell or a descendant, hence the power level? He could be connected to Hell. That could be really cool, actually. I mean, aesthetically. I love Batman in some parts of Superman when he's not OP, more grounded. I agree. I don't like my Superman to be like completely ridiculously powered. But I grew up watching the DC AU, the Bruce Timm one, and that's kind of the level I like my Superman at. Like he can get hurt a bit, and I grew up watching Smallville, so that had a huge impact on my impression of Superman. But even that, at the end of that show, he's moving planets like casually. Like I'm gonna move this out of the way. I'm like, whoa, okay, okay. But have you seen the new Lantern show? I haven't yet. I know I need to, but that I was a huge Green Lantern fan, and that 2011 movie really hurt me. I'll be honest. It was at the perfect time to really capitalize on GL, and they completely made that not work. I liked New 52 until they ruined Nightwing and the Titans. I mean, they got rid of a lot of the Teen Titans to begin with, which made me mad. But yeah, I'm more of a Marvel guy these days. X-Men has always been the through line. I'm a big Doctor Strange guy, a big Thor guy. Um, DC Rebirth was fire right after. I got a little bit into Rebirth only because they brought my boy Wally back. I am not a Barry Allen fan. I'm sorry. I know he's become the Flash again because of the show and the movies, and they really pushed Barry Allen back in. Wally West. I'm sorry. I grew up with him. He's my Flash. That movie is all you know about Green Lantern. I'm so sorry. Read the Jeff Johns run. It's fantastic. But I grew up with Kyle Rayner as Green Lantern, so that's my boy. Kenpachi Hell Theory got a lot more weight recently after one fan found out how Kubo used the shadows on Kenny's face. Oh no, I'm sorry. I lost you. To be portrayed in the form of a hell butterfly. All right. It's possible. I think it'd be kind of cool if Kenny had a specific connection, considering how many Kenpachis I hope to see him fight in hell. I think that would be great if he's connected to hell in some way. I was surprised Young Justice actually gave continuation to a plot point from the end of the Green Lantern. I watched the first season of Young Justice and then I fell out of it. Any non-Marvel, non-DC comics you like? I like. Well, technically now he's DC. I was about to say Hellblazer. And I'm like, wait, good old John Constantine is like a DC guy now. I mean, I never really read any of his like New 52 stuff. Although I did read Justice League Dark at one point. That was fine. That was solid. There's a couple New 52 things I did check out. Batman Court of Owls, obviously. GL continued pretty much untouched, but the history didn't make any more sense. Anyway, what do you want to see from Ukitake in the Hell arc? I want to see Ukitake kick ass. I want to see his Bankai. That's what I want from Ukitake. I want him to be the guide into hell. Did you ever watch the Green Lantern animated series? I did. It had the Red Lantern guy was part of the cast, the robot. I don't remember much of it. They started bringing in. I was excited because they were bringing in the Red Lanterns, Larfleeze, things from the Jeff Johns run, and I was like, oh, maybe we're gonna. But they like shifted it in interesting ways too. It was a good show. I wasn't huge on that kind of style of animation. Was kind of my holdup with it, but it was good. I remember enjoying it. Batman animated series, and all those were the intro to your to the all DC characters. Yeah, me too. I think, but I mean, my older brother had a lot of comics too, so that too. But Wally West he's my Flash. Kazui is the reincarnated Soul King, possibly. Yeah, Kenny should be focused on his identity. That's gotten the next step. He's finally looking inward enough, And maybe the Kenpachis in hell could help with that. Oh, thanks. I'm sorry you have to mute it, but yeah, we are talking a little bit of manga spoilers. I'm trying to be vague. I'm trying to be vague for you guys. But I don't know how well of a job I'm doing at that. Do I think Yamamoto's in hell? Yeah. Oh, yeah, Quincy's destroyed the soul entirely, but they still did the ritual, right? That's a good point, honestly. I haven't thought about that. But I would think so. I feel like it, even just from a narrative perspective, I feel like he needs to be down there. I need to see whatever the situation is in hell. Head Captain Shinsui meeting Yamamoto again. I want to see. Oh, that sounds cool. The animated manga panels. Yeah. That's an interesting observation. Do you think any of our heroes or other major characters might die in the Hell arc? I would imagine. I would hope. I know some people think I want everyone to die too much, but sometimes we gotta take some people out. How does it feel to be more or less caught up with everyone else? It feels surreal, to be honest. It's like, I can't believe I'm doing this right now. But I appreciate you all for being here. Yeah, they destroy Hollow Soul specifically. Okay, so yeah. Yeah. Xyloporo said he included him in talking. Okay, so yeah, Yamamoto is definitely in hell. Yeah, Yamamoto versus Shinsui. That would be cool. It would kind of be like we're bringing it back to like that almost fight in the Soul Society arc. Am I gonna keep the stream up after it ends? Yes, I think. I yeah, if I have the option to, then yeah, I think that'll automatically happen, but if not, I'll try to make sure that does. Because I know a lot of people who might wanna watch this aren't online right now, so but thank you all for being here so far. I'll probably be on maybe for, like, another half hour. Um, my wife's currently watching my son. We kinda take shifts sometimes, and I'm doing really well in my ghostwriting for the moment, so I'm feeling okay, like, I don't feel like I should be doing that. So much of my day is like I need to be getting work done, like, you know? Um, is there a fight you really wanted to happen but never did? Ukiora versus Grimmjow. I would have loved that. Ukiora versus Grimmjow. And who else would I have wanted to see fight? I feel like there are a couple. I'll think about it. Sasakibe is in hell too. I think he is probably, right? Hey Pat, it's always funny. Like my name is known. Like I don't hide my first name, but it's funny because it feels so casual, and it's just fine with me. It's jarring sometimes. Like, oh yeah, you know my name. Who do you want to return during the Hell arc? Uh, anyone and everyone. Mostly, I want to see people we don't know very well. I want to see the original 13. I want to see all the Kenpachis. I want to see that. That's probably my biggest thing. And if Stark is down there, bring Stark back. And I mean, obviously King Bar again, but that goes without saying. Special war powers and some others in the final battle versus Yobaha. Geen versus Bambietta would be an amazing fight with Geen rage baiting. I could see that. Geen would be fun to see back. And I would kind of I'm torn. I like the tragedy that he did all of that. It failed and nobody knows. I kind of like the tragedy of that, that he was a hero, kind of, like his intention was selfish in a lot of ways. It's so complicated, but I like the idea that he did turn against Eisen and nobody knows except Eisen. So I don't know if I'd want people to find out, but that could also be emotionally moving if they did, and he got, like, redemption in their eyes, but I like the tragedy of it, so I'm torn. I'm torn. Geen was a great character. I really once it really became clear what that character was, I really enjoyed that. I had that whole analysis video where I essentially was apologizing to Geen for thinking he was so simple. Good night to you. I hope you have an excellent night. Um, yeah, I mean, it could be possible. They might be able to top episode 45, but I think it's hard though because 45 it was such a shock to everyone. Because if you hadn't read the manga, it felt shocking, the events going down, and especially if you had read the manga, like a lot of us have, um, it was extra like shocking because you're like, this is not how any of this is supposed to go. So I don't know if we can recapture that feeling again the same way. Like that entire episode felt like I was in an alternate reality. I can imagine Bargain and the other Dead Soul Reapers fighting over control of Hell or to escape. I if we go down there and Bargain is the king of hell, I'm in. Also 50-50 on Ukiora having more in the Hell arc. He has a perfect conclusion. That's the thing, yeah. Yeah, I mean, he had such a good ending, and it's tragic, but it should have been. I feel like we need characters that didn't maybe get properly explored as much as they could have been. Not to say that they had to be at the time. There are characters that fill specific functions in the story where we don't need, but there are some where I'm like, it'd be cool to explore more of them. And if we have to bring people back, I prefer people like that rather than if someone had a great ending, maybe keep it untouched. But we'll see. We'll see. Mm. Episode 45 just entered your top 5 in the entire anime. I could see that. Best and worst filler episodes in your opinion. Oh no, don't worry about English not being your first language. You are doing fine. You are very clear. It's a good question. I mean, the Bount arc, those episodes at the hospital were rough. Was it 2 episodes or 1 The water people those were rough fillers for me. But they were funny. That's the thing. I couldn't take that seriously because it felt so mundane to have Ichigo and Renji fighting the water fountains. You know, I had struggled with that, as I talked about in that analysis, and as patrons saw when I watched it. There were a couple episodes in the Bount arc that really were just. It was like the mod souls setting traps in the house. It was just such a waste of time. So there's probably one of those episodes because those weren't even that funny, and I didn't even hate the mod souls. It's just I don't know. We've seen enough of Xyloporo. Yeah, I don't know if we have though. I mean, I don't disagree really, but I love the way they brought him back, and I'm sure the way it's set up, it feels like we'll see more of him, right? Didn't get explored, so you're saying Yami? Don't bring that energy in here. Yami got explored plenty. We know he has a dog. That's all I need to know now. I'm like, okay. Otherwise, don't bring that in here. Don't bring that energy. Mr. Moto, hello. I've been watching since June 17th. So the first day, like ever, that was the day I uploaded it. And or are we saying just that first episode, that first video? Whose backstory do you want to see that we haven't seen in the main series or novels? I would have said Ginjo, but I have been reading Can't For Your Own World, and I think we've got what I needed from him. Whose backstory? That's a great cut. BG9. What's up with that? What's his deal? That's who I'd want to see. For sure. Yami redemption in the Hell arc, guys. If we're gonna just be throwing Yami around in the chat room, I'm ending this. I'm late. If we're talking about Hell arc, did anyone say Stark? I guess he's one of where more than we got isn't necessary. I mean, he had a tragic ending, but I would like to see more Stark personally. How do you think Neliel and Neutra would reunite in the Hell arc if it happens? I would hope he wants to fight her and she says no. That's what I would want from a Neliel and Neutra reunion. I would love that. Do you want Yugrim to return in the Hell arc? No. I loved his ending. I don't think we need to see him again. Loopy wasn't properly explored, in my opinion. We'll agree to disagree on that one. The OG Gote 13, yes, I do want that. Kyan, his presence is all around a big chunk of the story, yet we know so little about him. That could be interesting. I think learning more about the Shibas in general is always interesting. So that could, if we get into a big exploration of that. Guys, now you're throwing Loopy. Yami and Loopy talk is banned. When I get mods, those are words we do not speak here. Don't do that to me. It's not nice. There's a theory BG9 was a hollow. I mean, he looked like... what's his name? 11. Xiaolong. He looked like Xiaolong. Yes, Pepe is banned too. That goes without question. The next 2 episodes is just alternate endings for you, Abaha. That'd be insane. Ichibe's true origins. That could be interesting. You could explore. I do want to see more of the Soul King answers. I want more of what the hell happened there. Who do you hate most, Luffy, Yami, or Pepe? That's tough. I think I prefer Yami to both of them. Of those three, Pepe just wasn't. But Pepe at least fulfilled. It's tough. It's tough. Pepe thematically kind of works. He just wasn't enjoyable to read. Loopy was just aggravating, and it was such. I mean, I get it was for Grimjow's benefit, but it just felt like a unnecessary detour. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Yami at least had a dog. That's a good point. Everyone talking about the Espada, but I would love to see Little Wunderweiss again. Yeah, he was a tragic character. I felt just bad for him. Just bad. The Beast World, or whatever it's called, where Komamura comes from, I have a feeling it has a connection to hell. That's an interesting thought. I would like to see that explored too, actually. Thank you for bringing that up. That'd be cool. We need other ancient Shiba members, not Kayan. I hope we get some OG hollows in hell like Shrieker. I want Shrieker for sure. I would love that. Grand Fisher, I mean, guys, I do miss my anglerfish hamster. And if the Hell Arc gives me chances to see more hollows, which it seems to be doing, especially if now, imagine Grand Fisher and Shrieker come back in hell. Although I don't know if Grand Fisher would be there. We didn't see him get dragged in. But maybe he did get, I don't know. But imagine them with new designs, with the chain tattoos. It'd be cool. It'd be cool. Am I going to see or read Burn the Witch? Yeah, I do want to read Burn the Witch. I will be doing that at some point in the near future. Wonderwise literally had no personality. Yeah, that's what was sad. He got stripped of everything. It just felt bad for him. Do you think Chad should have been a luchador and not a boxer at the end of the manga? As a Mexican, I would have preferred that. I don't really have a preference. I think he needed to be a fighter of some sort, and he was. Grand Fisher versus Ichigo's son. There's an idea. There's an idea. Butterfly Eisen or Eldritch Yuabaha? The horror of Yuabahas is cool, but I think the Butterfly Eisen made a lot of sense for that character. Grand Fisher and Shrieker coming back and trying to mess with Kari, Nenyuzu, and Isha and having to fight them would be kind of neat. Yeah, I want Hollows back. I just want some monstrous Hollows again. And we got a little bit of that in the Hell Arc, so I'm hoping that's a sign of things to come. Will you eventually watch the episode that was for the Bleach Hell movie? Was it like a tie-in for the Hellverse movie? Because I've seen the Hellverse movie, but why doesn't Gigi get the same level of hate as Pepe? Gigi, I thought, was more fun. Just also a very disturbing character, psychotic, did horrible things. But I'm not saying I agree with Gigi's actions more than Pepe's. I just enjoyed reading Gigi more than Pepe. There was more there. There was more interesting dynamics, and Gigi was more fun. Pepe was not fun. And if not an interesting battle, Gigi brought more than Pepe. My favorite Bleach design? I don't know. There's so many great ones. I would have to really think about that. Gigi's expressions are hilarious. Yes, Gigi was more fun. Pepe was like a downgrade from Zamari. Similar fight. It just wasn't that fun. Okay, there was an episode that I should have watched before Hellverse. Okay. Gigi doesn't get as much hate. Much more interesting personality. Yeah, way more interesting than Pepe was. I'm sorry, just was. I prefer Eldritch Uabaha's. He's literally wielding the very manga pages. Yes, there's some really cool aspects to that. I think I prefer Butterfly Aizen overall. Could Orihime reject Aizen? I thought that's what was gonna happen in the Arankar arc. At least reject the Hogiku. Didn't pan out, but could Orihime reject Aizen now? I imagine yes, right? Imagine Orihime being the one to truly defeat Uabaha. I don't really have to imagine it because it almost just happened. And it was pretty glorious, honestly. Do I like the idea of Ichigo having multiple Bankais? I kind of do. That each aspect of him has its own Bankai. I think that's kind of cool. Spirits Are Forever With You takes place before Lost Agent arc, but the only English translations. Yeah, I do want to read that somehow. In some way. It would probably kill her too, though. Yeah. Given how this episode panned out. I would take 5 episodes of Aftermath if Uabaha is really defeated now. It would be crazy to see how this would end if that was the end of Uabaha. Butterflies and yeah. Kazui has insane genetics. He truly does. Multiple Bankais like phases of the moon. That's a great observation, General Mountain. That's cool. I like that. Do we have our money on last episode being Uabaha's vision? I have it on Uabaha reverses it. So, yeah. Yeah, it was cool to see the pins come back. Did I buy the new Jet art book? No, I did not. Imagine Aizen being the final villain for the anime. I thought for a long time when I was reading the Thousand Year Blood War that Aizen was going to somehow worm his way into being the final antagonist at the end. Did you hear that the last episode might be 1 hour long? I have heard that. I've heard it's not substantiated, so I don't know if that's true. Do you think Aizen knew Orihime was capable of this much power? I do. I do think he thought that when he was so interested in her. I think he knew there was the potential for this. Have you seen the new character designs Kubo's made of everyone after Thousand Year Blood War? I have. And a little preview tease for you. I'm hoping Sunday I'm going to drop a video on the channel. I have reacted to those designs Kubo made for the future. And hopefully I'll have that video out Sunday is the plan. So I have seen them now. That's all I'll say. But I'll give a lot of thoughts for like a half hour in that video. Chad looks even worse now. Poor Chad. Yeah, well, Aizen spoke of Orihime's potential. He definitely knew, for sure. Yeah, now Renji even robbed of his only job. Chad will get his big moment, trust. I don't know about that one. I don't know. Saturday feels so long away. I want the episode now. It's only it's not that long. We got like 30 something hours, right? 20 something, 30 something. We're almost there. Do I think the epilogue will be expanded? Maybe a bit. That could be cool, especially if it teases future events. I would like that a lot. Or if they maybe incorporate some Camp for Your Own World stuff into it. I have not seen the illustration Kubo posted to commemorate Orihime, but he posts one every time someone dies. It's a fake out. I refuse to believe that. Chad 100% getting attention in the Hell arc. He got Devil in his attack name. I would hope. I thought Chad was going to get attention in the Fullbring arc. He kind of did at first. Chad will rule the Hell arc on Abuelo. Guys, I love the optimism. And I would love that. I would love for Chad to be important then. Do I think Kenpachi's a little depressed without Yashiru around? I don't know if I think she's still around in his heart, just not physically. Imagine if the final episode was the Hell chapter. Please. Please, that would be amazing. We still got a couple episodes left. Maybe Chad will get some good hits in. Hits on what? A golem? What can Uri do? Guys, Loopy's not coming back in the Hell arc because he already came back in Thousand Year Blood War. Yeah. Yeah. Stay on. If they animate the Camp for Your Own World, there are some things that kind of have to be altered a little bit because not quite everything jives. There are a few moments where I'm like, that doesn't quite match what the anime is doing. So there would have to be a little bit of adjustments, but only a little. I want them to do Camp for Your Own World in some way. I think Chad could have gotten a bit more content as he's honestly undercooked, but I've always believed that giving everyone equal character work would feel nice. I mean, yeah, that's the thing. Some people are going to get not as much, but man, there are a couple opportunities for Chad that just didn't happen. Kenny isn't very introspective, so he probably doesn't feel the need to. I mean, yeah, I think maybe he only communicates with her during times of stress and combat, maybe. Loopy on the 12th squad after the manga. Your own headcanon, you're free to keep that. You can have your headcanon. I don't want Loopy around. Imagine Grammy saying, I can't imagine Chad losing. Hey, do you plan on doing reactions to stuff like Bleach fan-made content, like fan art, songs, etc.? There's some great stuff out there. That could be interesting. I've never really considered much of that. That could be interesting. Ichigo's going to be so depressed in the next episode, it's going to hurt to see. Yeah, I hope it's only for like a minute or two. Oh, he's going to get sad after that too, probably, if we're sticking to the manga. But we got to hold on to hope. Do you think it's possible for Urahara to revive Askin and hire him for his shop? Fingers crossed. I think Naklavar's gone. I do. Loopy is kind of funny. No, he's not. I'm glad you think so. I don't. I'm not very entertained by Loopy. Have you thought about getting into Black Clover? Great art. I haven't given it much thought. I've heard of Black Clover, though. Do you hold any events on your Discord? Some of the mods there do events of like polls and stuff. And we've thought about some other potential future ideas in the future for the Discord. That could be fun. You're not a Bleach fan until you've watched Bleach Rock AMVs. Yeah. I mean, I used to watch those for like Naruto and Dragon Ball, so I get it. Do you feel that Kenpashi's inner world is the force where he met Yashiru? Yes. I think that's what we were supposed to take away. For sure. Personally, I want the anime to end on the courage speech as it gives Thousand Year Blood War's deserved merit. I mean, yeah, it is a beautiful moment. Yeah, I mean, Naklavar, he had some great scenes, but I think he should stay dead. Captain Amagai is going to show up in the final fight as the 6th war potential trust. It's possible. Anything's possible. Imagine hell being a part of Aizen's plan. Oh yeah, what's your opinion on Damon so far? Damon. Oh, are we Damon's of the Shadow Realm? I haven't watched it in a couple weeks. Been busy, but I have been enjoying it so far. I thought you were talking about Daemon Targaryen for a second from House of the Dragon. Do you want to see Akon Zanpakuto in the Hell Arc? And do you picture him being like an uncle to the Nemus? Yes. I do picture Akon as some sort of parental figure. I'd like to see more of him. It was cool seeing him fight in the Hell Arc a bit. Or the Hell chapter, I should say. I'd say JJK if you want to continue with the Bleach theme. Bon Kikebles. I've watched a season and a half of JJK. I enjoy it. I'm watching it very slowly because my wife and I watch it together, and it just takes a long time, especially now with the baby, for us to watch things together. Um, my thoughts on JJK. I enjoy it a lot. There is a little too much, like, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, just blanking, guys. Sorry, it's been a long day. Um, a lot of explanation. Yeah, exposition, explanations for everything in JJK, to the point where the cool things kind of lose their impact a little because I'm too focused trying to figure out how they operate. It's a little much sometimes. I'm kind of like, let's just like leave it to the imagination a little bit. But I enjoy it for the most part. Since you're you, Hakusho fan, have you watched Hunter x Hunter? No, but I'm reading Hunter x Hunter on the Patreon currently. Yeah, Hunter x Hunter's got a lot of exposition as well, but I feel like that maybe in the anime it would distract me more, but because I'm watching JJK, it distracts me a little bit. But I get it. I get it. It's just sometimes I'm like, okay, let's move forward. The Hunter x Hunter influence really shows in that regard. Yeah, that's a fair point. Where am I in JJK? I am at, well, I think I've talked about it before, but JJK and I right now are in a weird place because um, I watched season one. I saw the movie recap of the flashback in theaters of season two with Gojo and Geto. And then my brother in law, who's a huge fan, had me watch the season two recap movie, which recapped the Shibuya incident and everything else to prepare you for season three. So I saw that before I watched season two. And that was incomprehensible because they took like 20 episodes and just shoved it together. And it showed all the main events, but I had no context. Like they talked about him eating more of the fingers, and I'm like, when did that happen? And then people were dying, major characters, and I'm like, very quickly, and I'm like, what's happening? So watching season two now, it's kind of unfortunate because I know the big plot points because of that movie. And my brother-in-law was so apologetic. He's like, I thought it was going to be more coherent. I know none of that made any sense. I'm like, it's okay. But yeah, I like know stuff and I've seen stuff, but without context. Um, looks like, oh, thank you for the super chat. Gooby Moto. Gooby Moto. Um, JJK makes me feel dumb because it feels like it doesn't respect my intelligence. I feel that sometimes. Couple reaction to JJK when I'm trying to get her to watch Bleach. I'm trying. It's tough. We were gonna watch on Patreon Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood together, but we had a tech issue. We watched the first two episodes, and then it was awful. The audio, everything was bad. So we're gonna wait a while so she forgets what she saw before we watch Full Metal again. But I want her to watch a few series for sure. Sometimes a bit of explanation would be helpful. I still don't really understand what Unohana's Bankai truly was all about. That's fair. Do I think Ishin is a good dad? Yeah, for the most part. He's not perfect, but I think he tries in his own ways. Favorite Bleach theme? Some of the sad songs. Hey, Agamotto, do you have a hot take? I'm sure I do. Putting me on the spot. What's my hot take? What's like the hottest take I got? I mean, I guess I've talked about before about some of the people that seemingly died, should have stayed dead. I know people disagree. I still feel that way about Byakuya. Sorry, but I do. At this point, Kubo's foreshadowing is more random than a Russian roulette. What do you mean Unohana's blood abilities were hinted in the niche stats book from 2007? Is that true? So that's kind of fun. The funniest Bleach characters are my boys, Pesce and Don Dachaka. Pesce in particular. He is the funniest Bleach character. I will hear nothing else. Nothing else. Mm-hmm. Making a Bleach original character for fun. That could be interesting. Double standards there. Byakuya should have died, and now Orihime should revive now. Dang. Well, the thing is, Orihime's makes sense with Yuabaha's abilities. Byakuya looked super dead, and like there wasn't an almighty around to reverse things. He just didn't die and healed. You know, it wasn't the same. It's not comparable. What about Cone as funniest character? I love Cone for the most part, but I'm not like always the perfect humor doesn't always get me. The only exception I have really is Brook, who I love in One Piece, who also uses perfect humor, but because he's a dead guy, it makes it funnier. Because it's not actually that. It's like, yeah, he's a dead guy who longs for human touch, who longs for bodies. Like that makes it better. Cone's a little too much that for me sometimes, but I like Cone. I wish we explored Cone's tragic side more because I thought his introduction was fascinating, and I like Cone a lot, but that aspect of him where he's like perving on people, I'm not huge on. Askin's the funniest character. Yeah, Naklavar's up there. That'd be interesting to try to think of the levels of who's funniest. Oh, I feel like I missed a bunch. Don Kanochi's going to save us from hell. Yeah. Do I plan on rewatching Core 4 when the English dub comes out? Yes, and I will be doing that on Patreon just for my own sanity because I watched most of Bleach dubbed and I've been watching the sub for the last Core, but I just want to hear those performances at the end, and especially this last episode. I want to hear what those performances are like. Are you a film buff? I'm a big fan of going to the movies. Do I know everything about film? Do I hold myself as one of those like pretentious people who are like cinema and what's not? No. I love movies and it's super subjective, but I do talk about movies all the time. And I love going to the movies. I would consider myself a film buff. I know a lot about movies, but I'm not. There's like a certain, you know what I mean? There's a certain film buff type of person that really I don't vibe with. Like a little pretentious that I'm like, I don't I'm allowed to like movies that aren't necessarily masterpieces but are fun and stupid. I don't write off movies for being dumb, you know. Whose wedding do you want to see animated? Ichigo's or Rukia's? It's a good question. Why not both? Do you think we'll see Grimjow Harabel help out in the Hell arc? Maybe. If the problem becomes enough that Waco Mundo gets involved, then yeah, I would think so. Mayori is funny as hell. That's true. He does make me laugh, but I feel bad when I laugh at the things he does. But he's great. He's like wonderful dark humor for a character. Rukia is underrated when it comes to how funny she is. She has the best expressions in the manga. Rukia is underrated for humor. She's great at that. And that's part of what makes her and Ichigo's relationship so good. Are you excited for Avengers Doomsday? Yes, I'm hopeful. Tentatively hopeful. I don't think the buildup has been a smooth ride whatsoever, but I've enjoyed a lot of the recent movies more, like Thunderbolts, Spider-Man Brand New Day, so I'm hopeful. Favorite filmmaker and some of favorite films. I'm a big, it's going to sound like a cliche, but I freaking love Hook. I'm a big Lord of the Rings guy. Other favorite movies I can think of off the top of my head: Terminator 2, The Shining. I'd have to think more about that. I'd have to think more. Yeah, exactly. What built up? Exactly. I mean, we've talked about the multiverse, right? Does that count? Um, I see. I don't know if you're going to be that lost. You just watch like Shang-Chi so you know who he is, and watch Thunderbolts because it's actually like a solid movie. Yeah, Peter Cullen, R.I.P. Him, Tim Curry. It's been a rough week. Dolly Parton. Have I seen the Bleach live action? I have, and I did a review of it on the channel like a year or so ago. Avengers or X-Men? Who's your team? X-Men. God. I like the Avengers because of the movies. Comic wise, not even close. Not even close. The X-Men are my people. Yeah, Lord of the Rings is amazing. Yeah, I did make a video on the live action Bleach. You could check it out. I did have some thoughts. The little buildup we had for Doomsday was meant for Kang. Yes, but I'm of the opinion that Doom was always going to come back in come into the MCU around now. Probably, though, at the end of Kang Dynasty, because if you're doing Secret Wars, which they announced before the Kang mess, you got to have Doom. So I assume Doom was going to show up in some form. Maybe we're just getting him earlier. I don't know. That's all a mess. I've been rewatching some of the like Loki I rewatched recently, and yeah, they were building up Kang a lot. And I think they could have recast him, but at the same time, I think you kind of ruined Kang with how he was beaten.
We're gonna go for a walk.
All right. I'm doing a live stream.
Okay.
I'll see you in a bit. Have I seen X-Men 97? Yes, I love X-Men 97. I thought season 2's ending last couple episodes weren't the best, but I overall, season 1 was amazing, and a lot of season 2 was really good too. Toby Spider-Man versus Fox X-Men, who you got? As in like a fight, or as who do I prefer? I hope they do Nightcrawler justice if he appears in the movie. He always gets shafted in the movies. Yeah, but he was so good in X2. Alan Cummings' Nightcrawler was so good. He didn't have the swashbuckling part of Kurt that I love, but as a kid, seeing him do that stuff was incredible. Incredible. Reject the Avengers and X-Men, embrace Jeff. Are you? One of my friends loves Jeff the Shark. Are you him? Do you think Kubo will make the main villain of the Hell Arc even more busted than Aizen and Yuabahar, or he should choose another approach with them? I'll go for a different approach. You don't need to make him have like Hack's abilities. Oh, sorry. Season 2 fell off after episode 4. I liked some of those episodes afterward as like standalones, but I agree they didn't make Apocalypse enough of a driving force. We barely mentioned that death. Like we had one episode of like kind of dealing with that, but it didn't feel like it had the impact it should have. Yeah, the best scene from the movie. Are we talking about Nightcrawler? I agree. Unfortunately, Alan Cumming was apparently treated awfully. Yeah, and I know he didn't like the prosthetics. Bryan Singer obviously has turned out to not be a wonderful person, but I also despise X-Men: The Last Stand, and we could get into that can of worms eventually. But I'm kind of glad Nightcrawler wasn't there for that mess. I do have to go in about a minute, guys, so we're gonna wrap up here. But I'll answer these last few questions here. How has it felt to be able to see Bleach weekly now with this last core? Surreal, very strange, but I've been loving it, being able to come week to week and do reviews and stuff. You would like to meet another pro Jeff guy. Okay, you would love my friend Kyle. He loves Jeff. Another week, another chance for Kubo to prove my Quincy Chad theory correct. Who would you have to be head captain hundreds of years after Shinsui? I mean, I would want it to be Hitsugaya for the sake of him maturing. He could probably end up maturing into a great leader, I would think. Who would you have be head captain? Oh, I just read that. Yes, I do think the OG 13 will be in the Hell Arc. Did you hear there's a Naruto live action movie on the way? Yes. And it's going to be the guy who directed Spider Man. So I'm hoping that'll be cool. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap up. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you coming. We should do more of these. If you liked them, let me know. I had fun. It's cool hanging out with you guys. I'm going to go for a walk with my wife and son. So, yeah, I'll see you guys later. Take care.